Hello everyone, I am FIDE instructor and Arena International Master Rishikesh Shawan. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Let's start today's practice games. Okay, we got black, d4. Let's play King's Indian today. So knight f6 is the Indian defense. So after that, there are different variations. We can convert this into King's Indian defense. Then there is Nimzo Indian. Then there is Queen's Indian also. So you can. This is a tromp, I guess. This is a Trompowsky. Okay. Right now we'll continue with g6. Normally, white moves his bishop to h4. Okay. We'll also move the knight back. We have to stop this pawn from advancing. So d6 first. This position may convert into King's Indian Sämisch, where he will castle long, and with this f3 pawn he will launch a strong attack on our king with g and h5. So the same technique is used in Sicilian dragon, where white plays Yugoslav variation of Sicilian dragon. Here we can play knight c6. Knight c6 is the Panov variation of King's Indian. But let's see what we can do. I'm thinking about playing c6 right now. Maybe c6, a6, and then later on we can break the queen side with b5. Till then we will wait and see whether he castles on the queen side or not. So let's play c6 first. C6 is important to stop this knight. Okay, let's play a6. If you play bishop to g6, h6, sorry, you are going to capture the bishop straight away, or maybe not. Maybe there is no hurry. Maybe he's also choosing whether to castle first or whether to play bishop h6 first. There are other moves also for white. He can play something like knight e2 and knight g3, and then later on he can play bishop d3, or maybe he can play bishop d3 first and then he can play knight e2. Here he can also choose to castle short. So there are a lot of options available with white. Black has less options available. So if white castles long, black is going to start his attack through b5, and if he castles short, then black will be playing f5. Now he plays f4. Again, it's a 4-pawn variation, or you can say 4 pawns attack. Let's play this. Right now we are sacrificing a pawn temporarily. So pawn into pawn, pawn into pawn, pawn into pawn. Either we'll play queen into queen first, or directly we'll play knight g4. Okay. Oh, that's very nice. Uh, this is the Indian bishop in King's Indian variation, and this Indian bishop is very strong. It can be stopped by opponent's dark square bishop only. So that is why white preserves his bishop, so that he can play bishop h6 later on and exchange his strong bishop. White should not give this dark square bishop in exchange with a knight. So I guess our opponent has made a mistake. Let's see whether we can make use of that mistake. Let's play this first. I am thinking about giving this check, but after g3 there is nothing very interesting, right? Yeah, of course we can play queen s3. and then his short castling is stopped. Let's try this. Of course, he can play queen f2 also. Yep. Let's not exchange the queens right now. We have to develop this sooner or later. Okay. Let's play this. I guess we are losing a pawn over here. After pawn into pawn, pawn into pawn, uh, d into this c6, this into this, and then finally bishop into c6. But let's play actively. As we discussed. This is forced. The good part of the pawn sacrifice is that we can play e4, and that way this diagonal is open for our Indian bishop. First thing first. Um, let's play this. If he plays this, we are going to play bishop into c3. That way he will have double isolated pawn on c file. Okay. It's opposite color bishop. The only problem is that we are pawn down, though it's a double isolated pawn on c file. One more weakness or one more problem can be that this pawn is advanced, so we have to be a bit careful over here. Let's move this rook away from this diagonal, from this file, sorry, because I don't think he will be moving this bishop away. So we'll have to change the plan. We will play rook b8 and then rook b2. Okay. Mm, okay, let's see if we let him capture. Rook into rook, rook into rook. Then there will be this rook into f5 coming up. Mm, okay, let's do one thing. Check. I don't think whether this thing works. Let's see what can we do. There are very few pieces left. One queen each, rook and a minor bishop. If we can exchange both the heavy pieces, that's queen and the rook, then we can hope for a draw on the basis of opposite color bishops. Ouch. Okay, now there can be a problem. Oh, is that a back rank? Oh, cool. Even I, even I didn't see this coming. That's great. Our opponent totally missed a back rank. Even we didn't check that his back rank was weak. So here I thought that the position is totally gone because there is no way. Let's move back. There is no way we can stop this pawn from advancing. And then suddenly out of the blue we got this queen check on the back rank. So that's why it was good to give this queen d4 check and push the king inside. Okay, so we started this game well. It started with Trompowsky, then it converted into Sämisch, then it got converted into four pawns attack. We sacrificed a pawn to get some counterplay. We got a counterplay, but then we couldn't keep the tempo on. A few pieces got exchanged, and finally we got saved by this back rank. So I hope you enjoyed this game. Thank you very much, everyone.